that's going on, some of our children don't know what's wrong from right and what's right from wrong. So we have to remember to continue to make knowledge born. If you really want something, sometimes you gotta fight and always stay on the side that is right. But don't let nobody take your soul and keep shining your light. Alright?
Something. It was a mushroom. She said, eat it. I said, a mushroom? What's that? She said, eat it. I didn't think nothing of it. You know, she was kind of a wild girl, you know. I didn't think she was that wild, so I ate the mushroom. And I said, oh, it doesn't taste like much. She said, wait a minute. Minutes. And then the next thing I know, I was walking on clouds. They were beautiful clouds. And my girlfriend was talking to me while I was walking on the clouds. And everything felt beautiful. I almost felt like I didn't have any feet. No floor under me. It's beautiful. We looked in each other's eyes.
Mic test, mic test.
On top of these clouds.
Mic test. Hello.
And we were talking with
morning.
Each other.
Hello, mic test.
But our mouths weren't open. Then all
Mic
of a
test,
sudden,
mic test.
let me go, but I didn't fall.
Mic test. Okay. Hello. It's good. Alright, hopefully this
But
works.
I was farther away from her.
Alright, let's get this started. Alright, thanks for tuning in. 500 people watching, awesome. So as I been mentioning, let's just kind of walk through what's going on, and I just kind of sold my two $21 $50 call options and buy more $20 put not call option, put option. So I just took 70% gain from $21. So I basically, like, what I did is I think there's not many people who did this, but because the fact that I was tracking this, when the earning came out, it blew up, and then when the market opens, I sold everything. I was up 600%. As to kind of show you guys a receipt, I post on X that, where is that? It's been, I mean, people who've been, watching my posts, or saw my posts, yeah, it's been going well, man. It's been tracking, like, so this is the call options I bought, almost like 39 cents and became $2.30, 600% up, just for the earning. But I knew that this is not a luck for me. I knew that $21, at least 21.5 will be reached because of the fractal. Okay, so I knew that I was gonna make at least 100% or something like that, right? But I didn't expect there's gonna be a earning, right? So this is the fractal I've been tracking, as I mentioned before, and then this is 2024 March to April. So right now it's mimicking very similar pattern here. One thing I think was changing was this is a much bigger pop, right? After earning, there was so earning was, I thought, supposed to be next week, right? But Ryan Quinn, just posted like, hey, yeah, we got earning, and then just jump, right? So I thought there was like a roaring kitty, tweet or something, because I found that like the after hours is like just jumped like fucking like 11%. But yeah, I found out that Ryan Quinn posts its earning, and then yeah, this was supposed to go up to around. So I bought call options here, right? So and they're supposed to go about $22, but yeah, went even higher. So I have to match this fractal, I think, some reason, right? So I have to stretch this fractal out just to kind of match, because the direction is gonna be the same, right? So just to match the fractal, I realized that, and then after I look at the MACD, I realized that it was like this. So when it popped yesterday, I doubled down on my puts. Right now it's going down more, right? So as you can see, there's a huge gap, right? They left a gap, and then I let me just go over one more time, because maybe people have missed my my live stream yesterday. So this is daily, by the way, right? Every time when there's a gap up, right? So for example, this year January, right, there's a gap up here after Ryan Quinn 13D filing, and the second 13D filings. All this gap, right, were filled, right? Let's take a look at this one, and there's a $20 gap opened up here as well. You don't see in daily, you have to look at in 2 hours or a little bit shorter, because the gap is a little bit smaller. And yeah, let's take a look at the other one, right? So yeah, this gap as well, daily gap or filled. So the reason I say the reason I mentioned about this daily gap is because when there was a gap up after earning, right, now this gap is filling up, right? Almost 70-80% are filled, right? So when the gap up happened, right, this gap tend to be get filled, right? So right now, based on fractal, it was supposed to jump and then pull back down. That's kind of where it's at, right? All this gap, right, daily gap, big daily gap, right, gap up here as well. There's also a huge gap up when Roaring Kitty came back, right? As you guys know, 2024 May, gap up. All this gap were filled, and when after there's a pullback, right? Some of the gap all filled, right? All this gap were filled when you look at the historical pattern, except for only these two gaps, 1, 2, 3, 4 gaps. Except for this gaps, because these gaps are made before the squeeze. For some reason they didn't feel it, because it was kind of like after 2020, they found the bottom, Ryan Quinn announcement happened, right? He announced his stake in GME, and then it just going like a waves, and all these waves were just kind of like like people fall more into it, and then and then after squeeze hit the bottom at $10, trying to find the bottom, and this is the bottom because 2024 before Roaring Kitty came back, and this is the fractal we're tracking. I believe, and it has been going well. They retest this bottom, right? So which means that they're not gonna go down below this $10 level because they already retest this 2021 February the bottom low, right? And which I think now, interesting enough, we are tracking very similar to this fractal here, right? So if we hit $20, we're gonna track 2024, and then I'll be like very very. I actually was looking into what kind of car I should get, and start to getting into more my financial plan, what to do with it, after I take a profit from call options and stuff, because I think it's something to think about, right? Because otherwise I'll just hold on to call options like before, because the one of the I think mistake I made, and this is not financial advice of course, but well, I think one of the mistake I made was I thought like there's a hopium, like let's talk about this because it's actually a real thing, and then when you look at X, right, like I'm not saying like everyone has their own kind of choice and opinion, at this, but there when there's so much hype into certain call options, such as June OPEX, right, and I've been kind of throwing warnings, trying to make a lot of noises, because I do agree that I do see there's like a huge FTDs in XRT, and there's a lot of hype into it, and there's a lot of calls and stuff, but I realized that the hopium cannot make you money, right? And you do have to do your own TA and research. Of course, research is done on the internet, but you have to do your also own thing. And that's why there's a time that I got so pissed off that when I on Reddit, I got brainwashed. I have my opinion, I have direction I see, but because the fact that there's the XRT TF, this and that, there's Theremin in this and that, I got so caught up with other data that it kind of lose my opinions, right? Like I lost my opinion, or I just kind of follow their trend, and I think it's really really dangerous if you just follow the trend and the people, the community, right? Because you need to see, like as a trader, you have to have your own, I think, due diligence and the analysis on your technical analysis, how things gonna move, because it's your own money and nobody's gonna pay for you, nobody's gonna cover that up for you. If you lose money, that's your money, right? So I decided to take a month off from X, after I got burned with my call options, and then I was like, you know what? I feel actually better. I feel better that because I didn't see what's going on on X, and then Reddit, I feel a lot better, and then I start to have formed my opinions on how things gonna move, and so I think, and I think it is kind of dangerous to just to see other people's like a community, like a huge community, kind of saying one voice, because you could say no to that, and I think you have to be brave enough to say that, and also you need to you need to stick with your own gut feeling, and then this is comments that I get here, right? So I post some of the we're gonna go down, and then somebody appreciate my comments, like, hey, he took some profits, after post earning, and then it looks like he does his own kind of like TA, right? And then so yeah, I'm glad that my voice, my noise actually help people out, taking some profits. If you don't take profits after earning, basically, like, yeah, your call will be get wiped out from now, right? I mean, it's gonna get down a lot, right, depending on which call option you got. But the yeah, June call option is most likely will get destroyed. Okay. And I don't want to say that just because to, like, make you feel bad, or what I mean, like, um trying to show or anything, but I'm actually do, you know I do really, because I got burned before, and then I've been looking at this for over 4 or 5 years, okay, since 2021, right? And then there's a time that I hold shares, of course, and there's times I do trading, option trading, got into option trading, and then yeah, I saw a significant, a lot of money, you could gain from squeeze play. And then I think we are heading into that time. AMC is showing a huge volatility, and then I actually mentioned before as well, right? AMC is gonna get, I'm gonna cover AMC as well, but AMC is gonna fill this gap where they left it here on the where did I post AMC? A lot of GME stuff I've been posting. Yeah, this one, right? So this is a June 1st, right? Welcome back to early 2021. This is May 6th, right? One more pullback. So we did have a pullback, right? So we did have one more pullback, and then it starts to run. Now I said, there's a gap here, right? So I show you, if you know how to read the chart, there's a gap you left here. And I think I did point out as well, right? I did point out that AMC is gonna get pulled out to possibly fill that gap here at $1.4 of $1.7, sorry. So as you can see, that when you look at this chart, and I post this one on June 2nd, right now as I track AMC, we are entering 2021 for AMC. For GME is 2024, where Roaring Kitty creator fractals, and we are kind of going through that footsteps, I believe. And then as you can see, this is 2021 January, before the next step, right? Because squeeze is not gonna be just like just straight up. It has to go through like some sort of a staircases, and it's just slower, of course. I think it's a 6 times slower, as you can see, just to create a fractal here back in 2021 January. It took about 11 days, whereas to create the same fractals, it's been taking 62 days, which means that for AMC, right now it's taking 6 times much slower than 2021 to create a same pattern. Okay, so when you play options, you have to think about that too, right? If you're just shareholders, that's completely fine. Shareholders, you don't have to worry about trading, okay? But as an option trader, it is so risky, right? So if you go down right now minus 10-20%, the option will get destroyed minus like 40, 60, 70%, like that. So it is, and I think that's why I think it is so crucial to see, like, you have to be really sensitive about this kind of thing, right? So as you can see, there's a pullback happened here before gapped up, and then run to next phase, which is, I believe AMC is doing that. And this is a post I made when AMC was at $2, and then I pointed out there's a possibility of a filling gap at $1.72. Right now, AMC is now sitting at $1.74. Let's check out the gap here. So gaps are sitting at the same place. I have to change this regular. So yeah, the gaps are filled now. I think it's not 100% filled, but it's almost getting there. So yeah, AMC is basically going through a same 2021 cycle in much more. How much it was slower? 6 times slower. Okay, to create a same pattern, which it took 11 days, whereas now it's taking 62 days. So yeah, I think next week AMC is gonna start to bounce back up, and I believe that AMC will get to pass this all gap here, right? They already left the gap at $2 here, 2.5, $3.50. Okay. So if you see AMC hit all this gap by June OPEX, I think yeah, we are in the right track. And then when I look at this pattern again, the next AMC going for the second stairs and third stairs cases, and after that it's gonna be a squeeze phase. There's a huge gap here at open up at 40, between 37 to $46. There's also gap opened up at $50 as well. I think it's most likely we're gonna fill this huge gap between 37 to 46. This gap will be for sure. I don't know if with this $50 will be filled. I think that this gap will be used for next squeeze. So yeah, oh, so one thing I wanted to talk about is, as you guys know that GameStop, they postponed the shareholder meeting, right, to July, where originally it was on June 8th, right? And when I saw that, I was like, okay, this must be a very strategic move, right? And it's not just like, oh, they just want to move that to date. They actually wanted to move the date because of certain catalyst, in my opinion. And as somebody that looking at the fractals and chart, it seems that after July 7, AMC is going to also pop, which means that based on this current fractals, after a shareholder meeting, GME, both GME, AMC will pop. AMC will go from $3.30 to $8 level, right? This is about 150% move. Also, GameStop is gonna make a move after shareholder meeting from July possibly 9 or 8 to July OPEX 85%. Okay, something like that. So, and then the final short squeeze is going to happen between end of July. So it's gonna be fairly quick, right? So right now so far, that could always push back, but yeah, AMC is also showing the squeeze around August 3rd, which means at end of July or early August, right? So I'm seeing that right now. Yeah, so GME is now down minus 3%. I just took some profits for my from my put options. So hold on, where did I see it? So this was my post here yesterday that where was this one? Yeah, this one. Yeah, so what I say is I expect one more final pullback before run begins. Double down on $21.50 and 21 and 20 put options for June OPEX. Do not follow my trade because this is really risky. But I just kind of show on this chart that there's a gap at $20, and then also there's a huge gap opened up at $22 to 21, because of the earning. So all this gap is potentially will be filled, right? There's a $70.50 gap, but I'm not sure this is gonna get filled. I think most likely it's gonna be $20. And so yeah, that was it. And yeah, if the gap is filled $20, then it's most likely GME is tracking 2020 March to April cycle. And yeah, since you guys are all here, I'm gonna show you with some of the indicators where it's at. So let's start with MACD. Should I? Yeah, maybe I'll stick with this regular. All right. So I don't know if I should go through everything again, but you guys already know, where we at. I already kind of went through all this, right? This green box. Went through a triple top, pull back, come back down, push one side and pull down, and basically like creating a double top here. But this, back in 2024, before March earning, it popped and then sharp drop, right? So there was that, and then that's exactly kind of similar pattern, because when I saw after eBay news, there was a huge jump. I was like, okay, I don't think it's gonna squeeze right away, right? And then I think a lot of people get hyped about it, right? It seems like they're like, I don't know. It's like I do believe that most people don't really, they're really hyped about this, positive stuff, right? But as a trader, your perspective is different. It's just something that is just feel very suspicious about it. And you feel like, oh, why it moves so fast right away now, and I don't think it's gonna be the time for squeeze yet. You know what I mean? And I feel that same way. And then I bought put options because, yeah, I don't think it's gonna. Is it right now? It's not the time for squeeze. And I know I track AMC. AMC is not there yet. So I bought put options. And then the next day, the next week coming Monday open, yeah, obviously it dropped, right? So I sold my puts. So since then, I was tracking this. So I was like, oh, you know what? I think they're doing this again. So basically, like, what they're doing, I found was this one, right? So just tracking same thing here. I'm gonna show you with the bigger picture first, and then gonna show you the tighter version, and then show you the MACD. Okay. So now, when you use this pattern, which I believe that is a pattern that Roaring Kitty kind of Roaring Kitty kind of build this thing. So when I put this in here, it looks very similar, right? I'm gonna change to different, a little bit bright color. So after triple top setup here, which what Ryan Cohen and Michael Burry created, right? So I think Michael Burry is possibly like a guy that he could potentially come back in when there's a catalyst and squeeze phase happen. But yeah, this is what happened, right? So early January this year, after January OPEX, Ryan Cohen 13D filing started dropping, right? First and second, so which that created first wave and second wave, right? And then third wave was created by Michael Burry, right? So that kind of confirmed this 1 2 3 phase, and then pullback, and then went up, and then boom, eBay news leak and huge jump. So since then, it's taking about 2 times slower than the fractal that back in 2024 March and April, but yeah, right now it's going pretty much the same, right? So I because I checked the algorithm speed, right? I checked the how the speeds are kind of slow. I brought the partial fractals in, right? So when you look at this, it looks like it's gonna squeeze in fucking like July or end of June. But when you brought the partial fractal, so what I did was, I know where it's at, so I just cut the partial fractal from here to here. Okay, from the pop from eBay leak news to the squeeze phase. So with this, I could kind of see where it's at, right? So I brought the fractals in, and then I play around with it, and then so far it's been running exactly same thing, right? Look at this, right? The pattern were matching almost nearly 100% accuracy. So after eBay news drop, I'm gonna turn this a little bit lower, right? After that, it drop, come back down, continue to drop and creating a wedge. There's a little push upside, and there's another wedge form, right? And then we just had an earning, so it got pushed upward, right? And now it's pushing back down. This is the final pullback, in my opinion. And right now we are sitting at $21 64. I just sold my all my $21.50 sorry, 21.50 call put options, and then and then with that money I took profits, and then I'll double down on 20 put options. So I think we're gonna head it to one more push to fill this gap in this $21 gap here. As you can see, there's a green bar. There's still gap there, big gap, and then the small gap also opened at $20. So this so as you can see, the fractals are matching. There's a huge pump from the earnings, so I stretched this one out to match the pattern, and I realized that we are here, so this will come down to $20 gap, push upward on early next week once we hit $20, push back up on Tuesday. So I think Monday when the market opens is gonna continue to go down to $20. Maybe there's another news, because right now I saw news that there was a eBay, the acquisition is like the board member reject the acquisitions or whatever, right? So yeah, news article came out, right? And then the GameStop bid wasn't successful, right? eBay was loudly rejected by the company board, right? And then Ryan Cohen remains committed to the deal. So yeah, so basically like Wall Street, of course, Barron Research, I don't know, like fucking, they're just throwing shit out, and but I mean maybe it's just a timing thing, where now it's pulling back, the market is all pulled back, Bitcoin is pulling back and shit like that. So they're just kind of right on time to just kind of drop this news, and then doing their final pullback. And I'm sure there's a whole like fucking swap cycles, or some sort of a, I don't know, like there's so many shit going on with this whole cycle, so I can't even keep up with it. So anyway, I'm just tracking fractals, just simple, so fill this gap. Next Monday I think it's gonna hit $20, push back up on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it looks like it's perfectly lined up, because this is a June OPEX, which is the June 18. So they're gonna do this kind of like push up and come down, kind of like double bottoms kind of setup, which makes sense because June OPEX is a huge final option expiration day, and I think the quad witching is also June, correct? Quad witching day. I think usually quad witching is the huge, yeah, there you go. So March, June, September, December is the quad witching quarterly financial market events, where there's not only just individual stocks, options are expiring. I mean, individual stock option expiring every Friday, but it's just entire like S&P, like entire futures and a single stock, the index options. There's 4 types of derivatives, so stock options, index options, index futures. There's a lot of things are expiring in June OPEX week, so that's why we are seeing a lot of heavy volatility. It makes sense that GameStop, even though it will pop back up after hit the $20, it's gonna pop up to $21. It's gonna push back down by June OPEX, creating a double bottom setup. So it makes sense. So when you see that, and then what? July 7th was the the shareholder meeting, which got pushed to this area. So based on this, it seems like they're gonna announce something. I have no idea. Like, I mean, Ramez made a joke yesterday that I just want to clarify this. Like, hey, I'm an insider. I know something. I have no idea. I just say that because I look at what's going on, and it seems like something's gonna happen, right? So I'm not inside of BBY. I have no idea. I'm just like just same retail investors, so he's just messing around with me. Anyway, so this is around July 7th. So I think there's a reason why Ryan Cohen or GameStop pushed to shareholders meeting from June 8th, which was initial the shareholder meeting, to July 7th, because I think it's technically, like TA wise, based on what I'm tracking, it perfectly set it up there. So after this pullback Monday, today and Monday, hit $20 gap, fill this $20 gap, go up a little bit, push back down again on by June OPEX, creating a double bottom. It's going to start to kick up after around June OPEX week, right? So it's very similar to January, right? I don't know if anybody who play calls options, but if you do, if you did play call options back in January, you kind of will remember, right? So I think they're kind of mimicking similar pattern here. So everything is going to happen after June OPEX week, right? The large expiration day. So I don't know, like it seems like, because when you look at 2024, the squeeze happened on that OPEX week, but now everything is happening after settlement of OPEX week, which means that we are heading in for a bigger squeeze, because that happened back in 2021, because the final short squeeze phase happened after the large option expiration day, like January OPEX week, and then it blew up after T+7, right? 7 trading days after. So right now we're kind of going through the same scenario. So yeah, I do believe that after June OPEX, they do double the bottom, staying around $20, and they'll start to kick up the small run, and then pullback happen. And when I see all this confirmation here, I think it's pretty much like, okay, they're just repeating same cycle. If you just kind of like follow what happened before, you're gonna be I think you're gonna make shitload of money. And then shareholder meeting July 7th, I think there's a reason why they push it that way, because when you look at 2024, they kick off the run on Thursday. I was expecting maybe we could do that, or but it seems like they're gonna kick off run on July 7th shareholder meeting. So starting from July 7th until July 9th, before I think July OPEX week, right? So they're gonna run before that. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna be the news from shareholder meeting. I'm no insider, I have no information, but that's what Fractal tells me. It's just setting up that way. And then yeah, I don't know how long this will take, but there's of course just goes up and down, a little bit of a sideway, and then July OPEX week is around here. And after July OPEX week, go up and pull back, and then squeeze happen. So yeah, so I don't know. They could also delay this to August OPEX week or end of August, so we don't know. But I think things are getting a little bit faster than I expected, because my expectation was squeeze happen after the October, the warrants. But it seems like it's gonna happen before, which is good news, right? So let's take a look at MACD here. So as I kind of show you the whole thing, I'm just gonna focus on this one now. I don't have to worry about going through everything. So this is 2024 March earning pop, right? Pop, pullback, sharp pullback, which will happen after eBay news. And there's another push which happened here, and then another pullback, filling this gap after creating this wedge on this yellow pattern here, same as this one. It goes up to a little bit like this in a blue box wedge, same as this one. Now we are just at this green box wedge, which will happen from the earning. And now we are heading down $20 sharply, in my opinion, which will happen here back in 2024, April 12 and April 15. If we see that $20 gap filled, it's more likely that this will also pop a little bit short-term wise, but because of the huge large option expiration day by June OPEX week, which is June 18, which is also Thursday, not 19, because 19 is holiday. Also, not only just individual stocks options are expiring, it's a massive quad witching day, so a lot of options are expiring, entire market index and as well, right? So now we see this kind of thing happening with this fractals and chart. When you look at now, you have to also check the other indicator with MACD. So as you can see, starting from here, pull back, it's here. Push back, push up, similar. Push down, but this was a little larger, right? Because when you compare to it, this is one of the most difficult thing was the timing. And then I think this is something that one of the option trader told me that back in the day when I first trading options, and then when I just look at the patterns and fractals, he told me that, hey, like, you know how to look at the chart. I mean, you know how to look at the direction, but you don't know how to look at the timing. Back then I didn't understand it, but now I understand completely, like fully now. So as you can see, just looking at this blue wedge, back in 2024 to create this same wedge, same pattern, it took 7 days, whereas now it took 14 days exactly. So which means that we are 2 times slower than 2024 April phase. Now we pop, you're pulling back. So when you think about this whole thing, it's basically taking out 2 times slower, which means that when May squeeze happen very fast, it's gonna happen. You just have to add one more one more month for the time being. Like for the time, right? Like when you buy options, let's say for example, when you buy into options, for example, like even though you see in your chart, like, hey, it seems like it's gonna run in June, but you have to add another 1 month because the speed of algo is 2 times slower than back in 2024. And anyway, so we went through this thing, pop up, pullback, right? So this pullback took 7 days, whereas this pullback took 2 times because of speed of algo, 14 days, so 2 times slower. And pop happened here as well. And now we're at this level, pulling back, filling gap right now. So yeah, that's RSI. Let's look at that's MACD, and let's take a look at RSI. So this is RSI. It's called relative strength index. Also this things, let's take a start from here. March earning 2024, pop, pull back. So I'll start from here. I just kind of grab the crayon here. Yeah, so it's from here, push up, pull back, push up again, and then pull back all the way down there, creating a wedge. Same thing happened here. eBay news leak, pull down, push back up, pull down, creating a wedge. So the orange box is done. Now let's move on to blue box. Push up here, go up and down like that, right? Same thing, push up and down, creating a wedge. The what do you call that? Like the angle itself is a little bit more 45-degree here, whereas this is a little bit like, the slope is a little bit like, it's not that higher, but it's still like you're going through the similar like directions, a little bit higher. After earning, pop. Now the what's the time frame here? This is 2 hours. So 30 minutes times 2 right now is taking 2x slower, so I have to go by 1 hour rather than 2 hours. So when you look at this now, RSI here, the yellow line is up here, and this yellow line was up here, and then it's a little bit like, how do you say, like it goes down a little bit, right? It got like a tip like this. So if you find that similar pattern, it's somewhere here. So you could say like it's around here, right? Somewhere here. And RSI, the purple line. So you have to look at 2 lines for some reason. It's very annoying, but you have to. So you have to compare the level, where the level is, the direction, and then the both yellow line and purple line. You have to be able to kind of compare that. And so anyway, the yellow line come up here, pulling back. It's higher than the level is higher than this one, but when you look at purple line, looks relatively like stayed a similar level. Like this was 66 level, 68. So yeah, but yellow line is pulling back. The purple line is 42 level here. 42 is around here, which means that it's now pulling back around here. So yeah, so it's we have more potential downside. This one. So I don't know if it's gonna happen today. It's more likely we still have about 4 hours to go, 3 hours to go. But I don't think we're gonna just use 3 hours to kind of wipe all out to fill that $20 gap. I think we still got a one Monday, right? So Friday, Monday. So yeah, I don't know. It could potentially have another news about eBay. Yeah, I think GameStop, Ryan Quinn, they understand this. Even Roaring Kitty, like I think, yeah, it's just a whole. And I think they already understand the cycle. Market makers, I don't know. Some people say, yeah, it's just, it's not true. Fractals are wrong. But hey, it's been right so far. And if I'm right on this, I don't need BBY, to be honest, at this point. If I'm right on this, if let's say if I do, because right now what I last year I've been practicing put options, okay, because not only just I hate the company, it's just as a trader perspective, right? If I see both direction from call side and put side, right, going up and down, then why don't I just do both sides? That's what I made a decision. Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I don't give a shit about what people think about, buying put options, because I lost money because I was betting, on just calls all the time, and I don't think it's right as a trader. If I think I'm a trader, so I was like, you know what, I determined, like, hey, I don't wanna just buy all into call options and only just getting hyped to buy call options for just going upside. I'm gonna going for put options, so I could just go up and down. So if I do all up and down here, so I sold my so I bought a 3 put options yesterday and day before. I doubled down more yesterday, and then I just sold my $21.50 call options. Sorry, why I keep saying put options? $21.50 cents. Put options, taking some 70% gain, and then move that into $20 put options, because right now it's still relatively cheap, but when the price down dip to $20, it's gonna go even higher, right? So yeah, I'm waiting for that. So after that, next Tuesday, Monday, I think we're gonna drop. Next Tuesday, we're gonna pop another 5%. That will give you at least about 100 to 200%. So I'm gonna ride that thing. I'm gonna just follow all this pattern, because this is a footprint I think Roaring Kitty made, right? And why don't we use it if this is right? If this is wrong, yeah, it's just it is what it is. But for now, because I track AMC is also tracking the heading into the January 21 squeeze phase, and then people might wonder, like, how would you say that, right? Because I've been tracking this for a long time. So if I can tell you, AMC, you have to go to the settings. You have to right click this and then change regular to logarithmic. And now you have this kind of view, different view, right? But it is same thing. The bear cycle, there's always a bear cycle, accumulation phase, and bull run, right? There's a huge bear cycle here happening, right? Same as this one, right? So when you actually look at this bar pattern, and then let's say from the bear cycle through accumulation to that bull run, right? You know what? I'm just gonna stick with the from bear cycle to 2021 January cycle. So when you're at this thing, basically it's like this. Okay? It went down, go up, go down, like a go up and down 3 times, 1 2 3, and then big flush. When the COVID happened, that cycle actually we have it here after ape conversion happened, and it is the same fractals and same cycle. And then it's just so odd that, to be honest with you, like people talks about how debating, like, Adam Aaron, Adam Aaron is kind of sold to short hedge funds. And I think when I look at this, I think it's possible. Like I hate to say that, but I don't know if Adam Aaron is actually the evil guy, or somebody is controlling him. Okay, and I think it's more likely that somebody is controlling him. Like, hey, Adam, like, you should do this and you should do that, right? And I don't know. Yeah, like it could be a conspiracy, but based on the fractals, why he do the ape conversion happen, and why it happened like this when that final capitulation in the bear cycle, right? Like when you look at this, right? And people might wonder, like, okay, so yeah, there's a bear cycle. How about the accumulation? So I'll show you. So there's now called the Speedobago. So now this bear cycle happened here, right? So it happened very similar to this phase. And after that, there's an accumulation phase, which was from here to here. And this phase was actually very stretched out, very long. This is from here and hit the bottom, pull back, and then push back up, and then now we had a final capitulation. And that's exactly what happened here, right? Yeah, this one actually. You know what? I have to do it properly. Okay, I'll show you everything. I'm gonna show you everything. I'm gonna show you everything, what I know, what I'm seeing, what I've been tracking. Because that's why I feel so confident about this play. Because I've been tracking for like how many years is that? Like from 2021. And then I know exactly where we at. So this is what happened here. So this is the bear cycle. And you always have to remember, the speed is different. The pattern the algo is making, it might be very similar, but when it comes to speed, that's when you get fucked up, and you have to identify that if you want to be a trader, I think. So this is what happened here. So I'm gonna change to yellow. So this, when you look at this, so I just kind of make this pattern here. So they're repeating same cycles. Once they have this, algo pattern kind of created, it's the same thing. Bear cycle, same thing. It's much more stretched out. So it must be that somebody leveraged themselves to fucking short AMC. And I think they're trying to bankrupt the company, but I think they fail. And this is the bear cycle, right? When you look at the time, from here to here, it took about 1,112 days, whereas this one took about 900 days. Kind of similar, right? But let's take a look at this accumulation phase. From 2020 March to 2020 December, it took 280 days, whereas this one, it took 680 days. So now you could see the accumulation phase. So the bear cycle phase is similar, the time is similar, right? But the accumulation is 3 times slower than back in 2021, right? Back in 2020, right? The accumulation phase is different, right? Yeah, this is the accumulation phase, right? This is the accumulation phase. Yeah, from here. Oh fuck! What the fuck is happening here? Okay, I'm gonna delete this kind of stuff here. yeah, accumulation phase is up to here, and then yeah, from here to here. So this whole accumulation phase. What the hell? Yeah, this accumulation phase. I'm trying to make the same color so that you could see, right? So this accumulation phase took 280 days, whereas this one's 89 days, right? 689 days. So 3 times slower accumulation than back in 2020, right? And what happened now? We're heading into squeeze phase. Now you get it, right? So so that's kind of what I'm tracking, what I know, and GME is also heading into the squeeze phase. Are they gonna choose? So my question was, are they gonna choose 2020 style? Are they gonna choose 2024 style? And then I always believe that Roaring Kitty came back for purpose and reason, and I think you know, and then also the pattern that they're making was very very interesting. You know, it was very nice, like very well designed. Okay, if I could say the word design. So they designed this pattern in a way that very sophisticated, like very detailed, very nicely. So I was always a firm believer that they're gonna reuse this pattern in the future, and then future is near here now. We are here. I've been testing this pattern, for last couple weeks or 1 month. It's been working really well since May to here now. So yeah, 1 month. Yeah, but we have to go through next 2 months. So I'll be continuing to share this with you where we at. Yeah. So did I cover our RSI already? Yeah, I think so. All right. So I think that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at a question before I end the stream. Are you still believe that we're gonna get a cash for BBYQ soon? So that post is made by Ramez. He's just fooling you guys. He's just making shit up. I mean, I call him a couple of times actually a few times, but I don't know why he's not picking up my phone. I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah. He used to reach out to me first and then ask me like which call option he should buy, and what to sell. But I don't know why. I don't know what happened. Yeah. He texts me sometime, but he said, "Oh, I'm gonna get back to you," but he never got back to me. So I don't know. He seems very inconsistent right now. So, but yeah, BBY, in my belief, yeah, it's gonna come back. But my question is this actually. Something's gonna happen in shareholder meeting, okay? In a good way. It's a positive, okay? They set it up for a reason. And I've been looking at BBYQ stuff, right? Like there's a lot of dockets and a lot of dates to follow up, a lot of delay, as you guys know. But I think something's gonna happen on shareholder meeting. Not just because I see on Fractal, on GME. It also I see that on AMC as well. Okay. And in AMC is also is going to shoot up on July 7th, from July 7th to July OPEX week. So I think if I were to get let's say, July, I'll probably get a July options rather than June OPEX week. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, it's gonna go either way around, but it's much more safer. It's better to be safe than risky. Yeah, I think hold on. I think the gap is filled now. Yeah, gap is now filled. Yeah, gap is now filled, guys. Let's see. Is it completely filled? Let's see. Yeah, I think there's a wick down here, right? I think the gap is filled. Yeah, AIM's gap is filled though, so it's ready to move back up now. I don't think the gap will come down and fill all this gap. I think it's gonna go up now. But yeah, so go back to BBY. I don't know. Maybe GameStop is gonna announce acquisition of BBY on their shareholder meeting. I don't know. I don't know when it's gonna come out, to be honest with you. But yeah, we're just kind of waiting on for some announcement. I don't know what they're waiting for, but I think they're waiting for the right timing. That's the only thing I could say. But whatever Ramesh said, it's just kind of like, yeah, just he's just fooling around. What is this? I'm immune to a propaganda. Why advertising falls flat in individual with autism? Yeah, I mean, if you own shares, it's fine, man. Like I know how. Like this is something I mean, people own shares, people trade options, completely different, and I think you have to look at different way. And I know, like, okay, like there are people who are watching this and then trade options and stuff, and um there are people who have a lot of money, and but for me, as what I realize, yeah, if you know how to trade, that's good. But there's people out there who don't know how to trade, or they're new to trading, but they have a lot of money, like Remes, right? Remes, yeah, he could make a lot of money, but I believe that money, even though you have a lot of money, you need to, this is from what I learned, right? After I made a lot of mistakes, I was talking to my friend who's also a trader, or is trying to get into trading. He's doing gold future, but I think it's not about the how much money you have. It's about how high probability that you have, and how much successful rate you have, right? Let's say you have $1 million, right? If you have a low probability that you have winning chances, that chances are you're gonna lose all that. But if you have a $500, if you have a $1,000, if you have a high, and that if you build a skill where like you're high, you have a high probability of chance of winning trading, then you're gonna continue to make more money. Because if let's say you do option traders, right, and now you see all these patterns up and down, whether you track fractals, whether you do your own TA, whatever it works for you. But if you have a higher probability, you can continue to triple, double, triple, or even quadruple with $500, right? $500 a quadruple is already like what, 2,000, and if you can double that, that's already 8,000. From 8,000 to another double is 16K. 16K to double is already 80K. 3K. 3K to double is 60K. You know what I mean? It keeps doubling. And sometimes when it pop run like 10%, like let's say 2%, 3% upside is gonna give you at least a 70% to 100% gain. If a GameStop start rallying it, let's say you see a 40 to 50% run, they will give you 2,000%, at least 500 to 1,000% for sure. I believe I based on my experience, I was up for 2,000%, right? So if you could see that, like, yeah, like let's say you made money from like a couple thousand, you did the right trade, and then suddenly you have gained about 2,000% for rally. 2,000 become what, 20x, so that will become 40K, right? Was it 40K? Yeah, is it 40K or 400K? Oh, fuck, my math is fucked up, man. Not all Asian is good with math, okay? Yeah, 40K. So now with 40K, if you in the squeeze phase hasn't reached yet, right? You wait for the squeeze phase, you got into the right call options. Squeeze phase gonna give you more than 20K, right? 20x. So let's say maybe it's like 50x. So you're gonna make 2 million with like couple thousand if you made a right trade with option trading, right? So, and of course you have to sell right, when the time is right. If you hold call options, your 2 million is gonna get wiped out, right? And then if you know how to do put options, you could do put options. So let's say for example, this is one of the reasons why I've been practicing put options for last year, like, and this year. And yeah, I feel more confident that if I were to go back to 2021, because I was holding call options until here, man. And if I know how to trade to buy put options, I'll be making more money, right? So this is 70% down. So right now we are tracking same thing. We're gonna break all-time high, let's say. and then it's gonna go down below another 70%, 80% drop. That put option will give you so 10%. Okay, so 3% drop based on my current trading. Today down like 2%, right? 3%. I was up 70%. So if this is down for 10%, it's probably up for like at least more than 100%. So let's say 700, okay? 7x, right? So let's say you have 2 million to 7x. That's already like, how much is it? That's like 14 million there, right there, if you know how to trade. So but if you burn it, right? Let's say you have a million. Let's say you have a 100k, but if you blow that shit up, you hold your call options and then got burned with put option, and then got burned with this kind of, smash, like fucking like, if you don't get out right on time, then this thing will get like fucking zero. Okay, so for me, like, yeah, if you buy shares, that's fine. But if you don't, if you're watching this as an option trader, and then if the timing's off, you're fucked. So I think the option traders should be more sensitive, and they have to study like TA. They have to really be careful with the time, and then when to buy, where to buy, because when you buy, let's talk about the theta decay too. The people who buy, let's say, okay, for example, let's say we do this, it hit $20 next week, right? Monday. Let's say you buy call options for, let's say you're thinking that maybe squeeze is gonna come up, right? Let's say you buy call options for maybe this one, for let's say for this one, whatever, or squeeze. And then they're gonna do up and they're gonna come down, right? It's gonna wipe you out, right? It's better to buy here, or it's better to buy here because it's gonna go up and then theta decay you, and then because of the push, right? So it depends where you buy. So when I look at this, it's better for me to do a short-term trading, to do a call option with this play, right? Just gain another just 100x, 100%, just 2x and get out. And buy put, get out. Do this, get out. Do this, get out, right? Just do that. And I think, it's very risky, but so far it's working, so that's what I'm doing. But but it's better to buy, like, of course, long dated call, like just such as January, but if you're a confident guy and then know what you're doing, and then if you have a big gut to do this, then but this is I think option traders should be more sensitive about the timing too, because you shouldn't get swayed by how the community say or this and that. I think technical is much more stronger than that, right? Like, of course, sometimes fundamental is of course very important, but the market cycle, when the market crash, when the market is like pulling back, the fundamental, it doesn't matter. Fundamental will come later when the bull cycle or short squeeze phase come back, right? So I think they're building up this case, and then just pulling back, wipe you out, wipe some call option players. You know what I mean? Theta decay you, fuck you over a little bit, and then they're gonna run because there's too much hype into June options. Anyway, so that's pretty much it, guys. So hope you guys I really hope you guys get out, took some profit from this earning, because I've been saying this so much. I think this should be enough, right? So that's it. I mean, there's people who who's up a lot. If they still hold like fucking options since earning, like, you're fucked, like this right now. After this, put options, good, went up. Now this thing became 2.5 put options, $21.50 put option now became more than 70% upside now. So It's good. Yeah, so yeah, let's see how it goes, guys. Yeah, I do really hope that we are tracking this, and then if we see $20 level, yeah, we are tracking exactly same as 2024, I believe. Of course, I have to continue to look at by Juno packs and see if they can make double bottom like this, as same as this one. But yeah, if you know, it's just there's more. I think seeing $20 will be the a really good confirmation. What's gonna happen, like what they're doing, with this kind of thing. Um, so yeah, let's just stick to this for next 2 months. It's gonna be very exciting, and I hope this is right, and I hope you know I make money and you make a lot of money too, and yeah, let's not make any mistakes here, right? Because the July 7th, I think from in July is gonna rally. Okay, this is pre-squeeze rally, not the squeeze phase yet, but I think the timing is there. The gap setup is there, right? It's the same gap setup that they did back in 2024, as you can see, right? And then I think they're gonna leave some gap here. There's a gap here. They left gap here. They also left gap here. They left gap here. It's like a setup is there, right? It's just perfect setting up. They're setting it up for one. So yeah, yeah, hopefully, you continue to make profits, and let's not make any mistake before squeeze, so that you can maximize your gain, right? And that's all I'm here for, and I'm sure you guys are the same. Yeah, thanks for watching, and then I'm gonna edit some clip here and then post on YouTube. So if you guys want to watch this on YouTube, check U-Mergency on YouTube, and then I'll see you guys in next updates. Have a good weekend, and then see you next time. Bye.